All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahoya from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. All right, I want to go into an in-transit lesson through the Spirit on royal or royalty without accessory. All right, and what I mean by that is the Lord has told us, all right, what we stand to gain as a nation of people, what we stand to inherit, all right, but we're experiencing delayed gratification, and in essence, the Lord is testing the patience and the faith of the saints, beginning with the elect. Can you maintain your integrity, all right, with no instant gratification? All right. And the reason that's important is because we have grown up in a society, all right, that has given us instant gratification. All right. Primarily with wickedness. All right. Now, this is why Jake gravitates towards the certain things that they gravitate toward. All right. To receive that ego boost, that instant gratification of feeling important or having status. Now, the Lord told us that we're a nation of kings and priests. All right, that as a nation of people, we have been exalted above all other nations. But in this life, that gold has become dim. All right, so real quick, I want to grab this precept. All right, this is Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 1. How was the gold become dim? How was the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Now, the Lord said that we're precious, all right, as sons of Zion, not because of what car we drive, not because of how much money we have in the bank account, but because we are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Lord has called us and deemed us precious, more precious than fine gold, to be specific. Now, in this society, Jake has attached their identity, all right, to accessories. And that's why through the Spirit, I wanted to go into a lesson on being royal without accessories. And this is the beautiful part of the journey that we're on through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because the Lord is refining something that's extremely important in a man, all right, and a woman in general, but most importantly, in those who stand to rule as joint heirs, and that is integrity. All right. Confidence from a pure place, not confidence based on a status or accessories, but confidence with faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is the creator of all things. All right. And we're learning this through the patience and the faith of our trials going through this straight gate. All right. Now, that's our strength, right? It's the confidence that we have in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. As a nation of people, that has always been our strength. Now, we have not always maintained our strength, as the scriptures have left us a record of. But when we are in our strength concerning the faith, all right, in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we're at our greatest. Now, the only difference between then and now is that we're experiencing delayed gratification. We trust Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, we're part of that number. But our reward is not yet. All right, we're waiting with patience to be translated. Lord willing, we're part of that number. And that's the challenge. Can you be royal without the accessories? Can you look in the mirror through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and see a precious son of Zion without the trinkets that come with being a precious son of Zion? Because this is the ultimate challenge. And only a remnant of our people are going to receive that mercy according to predestination. But when I sat back through the Spirit as I was driving tonight, to do deliveries, I was meditating on it. And it's a beautiful challenge that the Lord is giving us. And this is how you find a man more precious than fine gold, because his identity is not defined by accessories. And this is the beauty of the journey that we're on. Lord willing, we abound in faith to a point where you maintain that faith and that understanding and that excitement of the world to come in earthen vessels. So even though you don't have the accessories that come with royal, the Lord has given you a royal spirit. This is why the Lord told us to let our light shine, all right, before men, that they may give glory to Yahweh by Shema Shai. Because ultimately it's not of us. That's why it doesn't come with accessories, per se. So the glory can't be given to accessories. It can only be given to Yahweh by Shema Shai. This is why people look at you different. All right, when you came into this truth, your family separated themselves from you, but they couldn't help but be close enough to watch you. Because they're conflicted at the light that they see coming through your vessel. All right. As a matter of fact, since I said that, this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14. No, I'll start at 13. And it reads, "Ye are the salt of the earth, the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thence good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men." Now, this is not talking about the salt or the drip that Jake talk about in this world, because that's accessories. That's confidence through accessories. The Lord is talking about that salt that comes from within, and that's that royal spirit when you return to Yahweh by Shema Shai. Even in your lower state, all right, you are separate from this world and even admired if you can receive it. All right. And it's not really you that they admire. They admire the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai that is upon you. Now, what the Lord is ultimately doing for us is he's teaching us a very valuable lesson through the spirit. All right. Now, amongst prophecy, the Lord is teaching us true values. Right. In this world, you know, our values are messed up. All right. And it's because of the society we've grown up in, a materialistic society. This is why Jake don't feel they're good enough unless they have what the rappers have on TV, because they've attached their identity to what Esau told them they should have. But we have everything we need if we have Yahweh by Shema Shai. Now, Esau's not going to put that on TV, or he's not going to put that in the music that you listen to. Because if he did, all right, then he'd go out of business. All right. All of the things that Jake spend their money on is according to what they believe is going to boost their ego, their confidence. Most of it, man and woman. All right. But when you return to being the salt of the earth, according to the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, then now you're reaching that point where you start to become more precious than fine gold. All right. And this is something that Esau desperately is fighting against. This is why he's attempting to demonize this truth, because whether he likes it or not, it's our time to come up out of the grave, beginning with the elect. All right. Matter of fact, the Wadi Halbashim Shah. Now I'm at a point. Let me bring out some of these precepts I had in mind. Matthew 5 and 14 reads, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel." And you know what? Through the spirit, I was meditating on this as well. You know, when you have this truth, we have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Yet, you know, all right, in your own personal journey through the spirit, that there's times you've dimmed your light through self-doubt, all right, through condemnation, or whatever the case may be. And what I mean by that is you've had opportunities in your day-to-day walk to show forth the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai. Maybe not just breaking down the doctrine to somebody, but maybe being polite to somebody in the right time and in the right place. All right. Maybe expressing some of the qualities, the wisdom that we understand in action. And we've all throughout our day run into certain scenarios and situations where we can let our light shine without necessarily teaching somebody what we believe in, but through our actions. And a lot of times it boils down to a lack of confidence in Yahweh Shema Shai's dealing with you personally. So you let self-doubt kind of get in the way. And we're all guilty of this in one way, shape, form, or fashion. But it all boils down to confidence, all right, with faith. Now, Jake in the world has their faith invested in fiat currency, cars, chains. This is why they have the courage to go up, or the confidence to go up to women, and the courage to do certain things in this world when they have money. But when they don't have those things, they don't have the same confidence. They don't have the same courage, because their identity is attached to what Esau told them was valuable. Once we come into this truth, the value system changes, and we understand that our confidence is in Yahweh Shema Shai, the creator of all things, and he's in control of our life and everybody around us. So if it be in the Lord's will for us to make it home safely, we'll make it home safely, and we know why. Because the Lord saw fit to allow us to make it home safely that day. And when we develop that confidence in Yahweh Shema Shai, the accessories don't matter anymore. That's why Paul talked about knowing how to abound, how to be abound and abased. Why? Because his confidence wasn't dependent on things external. It was dependent on Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23. And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahweh Shema Shai." So the Lord is making it very plain, no matter what you're given, all right, whether it's wisdom, all right, whether it's might, whether it's glory, all right, whether it's riches, your confidence shouldn't live there. It should live in Yahweh Shema Shai. And this is why, the Lord gives us the bread of affliction and chastens us according to our own strengths and weaknesses. This is why some brothers have certain afflictions, because it's possible that their confidence in something external would take away from the confidence that they should have in Yahweh Shema Shai. And I want to reword that so it makes sense. For example, if a brother does not have, if a brother is hurting financially, right? Part of that reason may be because the Lord is not giving that man more, or giving him so much that his confidence goes into riches as opposed to Yahweh Shema Shai. And the same can be applied for might, or for wisdom. All right, the scriptures talk about knowledge puffing up to a point where the knowledge that what you know becomes what you're confident in. It's not in Yahweh Shema Shai anymore, if that makes sense. And what we're learning through the Spirit is to be confident in what's most important, that travels with us from lifetime to lifetime. And that's our relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai. All of the external things, they come and go. When you think about the past lives we've lived, you don't know. You have no memory of being rich in Babylon or having a high office in a Greek captivity. You have no knowledge of it. Or having some great wisdom during the Babylonian captivity. You have no knowledge of it. The only thing we know at this point in time is that Yahweh Shema Shai liveth, and that, Lord willing, all right, we may be a part of that number that may be delivered from this said judgment. And that shows you that throughout all these lifetimes, the only thing that follows us is our relationship with Yahweh Shema Shai, as well as our judgments. All right, but for the sake of this lesson, I want to deal with what we should be confident in, and that's Yahweh Shema Shai. And as we occupy in these last days, one challenge through the Spirit is to abound in that confidence. And it reminds me of when the disciples were on the ship with Yahweh Shai, and the sea was roaring, the waves were moving, and they saw Yahweh Shai sleeping, and they couldn't believe. Matter of fact, Lord willing, I want to find that. All right. So real quick, this is Mark chapter 4 and 36. And it reads, and when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship. And there were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. So they're on a ship, and the ship is beginning to be engulfed with water. So, of course, they're in panic mode, right? Verse 38 reads, and he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? Now look at the contrast, right? Understandably, they're in panic mode because they're seeing the ship fill with water, and they're thinking about the worst case scenario. All right, which is what the flesh tends to do to us, especially in moments of uncertainty. But Yahushua, and this was left as a record for us to consider. Yahushua was so confident in the Lord that he would sleep on a pillow. All right, and when they came to disturb him from sleeping, and he rebuked the sea and said, Peace, be still, and everything calmed down. Look at what he said to them. He said, Why are ye so fearful? And it makes you think through the Spirit concerning faith. When you understand who's in control through the Spirit, now it's easier said than done, of course, but it's something that we should all aspire to have, especially in our personal walk as we go into this time of temptation. All right, this hour of temptation, as the scriptures describe it, having that faith of a mustard seed, like Yahushua said. And that's where our confidence lives, because again, the word confidence goes back to having with faith. Now, some people have faith in things that are material, like the majority of our people. All right, this is why when Jake get paid on Friday, they got a different kind of pep to their step. All right, why? Because even in the back of their mind, even if they don't understand why, it's because their confidence is attached to their resources. Whereas the Lord is challenging us and refining us to have confidence in him without the accessories. Yes, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We stand to be the kings of the earth as joint heirs under Yahushua. But at this present moment, you have no accessories in this world to show forth that election. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. And that's the challenge. That's the faith and the patience of the saints. That he that overcometh will get the victory. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. And when you sit back and just look at it and consider the culture that we live in as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, compared to the culture that the Lord is giving us back and bringing us into, is completely different. And the value system is extremely different. And from the beginning, the Lord has always challenged us to be confident in him and trust in him, no matter what we have. But it was prophesied that Jeshurun would wax fat and kick, that our people would say to themselves, we are lords, and they will no longer come near to Yahweh Shema Shai, that they will forget him days without number, because they begin to place their confidence in things that had nothing to do with Yahweh Shema Shai. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're getting our heritage back. And a part of that is where our confidence actually belongs. And this is why Esau hates this truth, because our confidence in the Lord is something that he can't profit off of. He can profit off of 2/3 of our people because they're going to go to the Louis store and spend their last because it's going to make them feel good for a moment. But once we understand who we are through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we quickly begin to understand that those things are not necessary. That we are a special people without Gucci, Louis, and Fendi, and whatever the case may be. Without nice cars, we're still the chosen people of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's the one thing Esau can't take from us. No matter how hard he's trying. Even now, he's trying extremely hard to pull us from our confidence. Yet he can't, because this is prophecy. Man, this is beautiful. Call Allah and Yahweh Shema Shai. We back. We back, man. And there's nothing that Esau could do. Lord willing, we're part of that number. There's nothing he can do to separate us. There's nothing that he can do to change prophecy. And that's what they're doing now. Now they suffer us to be back in graves. But we're not going back to the grave, Lord willing. Because now that we understand who we are through the Spirit, we understand that we are no longer going to have to stay upon him that smote us. Meaning we're not going to have to trust in this man anymore, because our confidence does not live in the things that he gives us to tell us, this makes you the man. This makes you valuable. We understand that our connection with Yahweh Shema Shai makes us valuable, makes us special. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. And it's not of us, it's of the Lord. Real quick, this is Isaiah 10:20. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And that's something that Esau can't take from us, man. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. The elect are not going to go back in the graves. You know, in Revelation, the 11th chapter, it talks about, matter of fact, let's get it. I'm right here. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And the reason their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and in half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And that's our people in a dead state right now. Our people in a destroyed state right now. So you have a lot of our people who, in order to make themselves feel better, they use these accessories of this world to try and give them some sort of comfort and rest, to give them the confidence that they feel that they've lost, because really they've lost that confidence because they're separated from Yahweh Shema Shai. But another important point is that the other nations don't suffer us to be put in graves, meaning they don't tell you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans why you're in this situation. All right. They don't tell you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that all of the things that they sell to you are of no value. That when you go into the Louis and Gucci store and try to pretend to be high status, they see right through you. That's them not suffering to put you in graves, to tell you what your true confidence should be in. Because they know, the Vatican, they know who we are. Most of these Edomites are starting to be hip to who we are. All across the planet, when you leave America, they know who we are. But you've been tricked into believing that the only way you are somebody is to have status according to what Esau says status is, and what Esau says is valuable, and what Esau says makes you the man. I'm going to skip down real quick. All right. Verse 11 reads, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Shema Shai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. This is why these other nations are trying to come against this truth and demonize it. It's a form, it's an expression of fear, because they understand that we're not going back in the graves, that this is the confidence that they can't take away from us. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. Once you find out who you are, you understand more and more how this world is bent on making you believe that you're only valuable according to what they believe is valuable. This is why Jake is obsessed with chasing the bag. It's not because of anything else outside of Esau Edom telling you that you ain't shit without this. Excuse my French. But once we understand the opposite of that through the Spirit, that if our confidence is in the Lord in due time, he will exalt us. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. Then we move differently. And Esau can't touch it. He can't touch that confidence. All right. Real quick, I'm going to grab 2 more precepts. This is 2nd Esdras. And that's the beautiful thing about this as well, man. When you look at Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, and the spirit that they have, that can't be bought. That can't be purchased. You can't go into no Louis store. The elites can't get that kind of spirit. And those who believe in Yahweh Shema Shai, the more you tap into that faith and that confidence in Yahweh Shema Shai, the more your light will shine brighter. You know, me and the brothers were talking about this again, not to be too long-winded. The brother Yeshaya, the first time we met, and the brother used an analogy. He says we're all like prisms, you know, and prisms are those, it looks like a clear crystal, but when you shine the light through it, it shows you different colors. It's like we're all prisms. The light shines through us slightly differently than others. It's the same doctrine. It's the same truth, but every brother's spirit is slightly unique in some type of way. When you're confident in Yahweh Shema Shai, that uniqueness will begin to express itself. For example, you know, you see how Apostle Tahar's spirit is compared to Apostle Gabar's and Apostle Ramlab. It's different spirits, but it's the same doctrine. And it's because the confidence comes from a pure place. It comes from Yahweh Shema Shai. And this is what we're learning. All right. This is a part of our journey as we go through prophecy, as we endure our afflictions and go through these different obstacles. We're growing in faith, and not faith in just anything, but faith in what's most important. All right. So let me get this and I'll end it on this. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 30. And it reads, "The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?" And right now, the Lord has blessed us with this treasure in earthen vessels. And that's why it goes back to the original topic of the lesson of being royal without accessories. Because if we had the accessories, you'd only be honored for the accessories. This is why the truth doesn't come with the trinkets and the shiny accessories right now. Because the people would only be attracted to this shiny accessories. And this is why we have this treasure in earthen vessels, man. And as a matter of fact, I want to get that and I'll end it on that. All right. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. And it reads, "For Yahweh Shema Shai, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai in the face of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh Shema Shai and not of us." And that is the beauty of it. Because those who gravitate to this truth, they gravitate to Yahweh Shema Shai. Not to anything that's accessories, that's shiny, that's appealing to the flesh. But only the things that are appealing to the spirit. And though it does not come with the accessories yet, in due time, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We will witness, all right, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. The transition to where everything that we see in the spirit and in our mind's eye will be manifested on the planet, will be translated, including seeing our Lord in the flesh. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. And then once you have those accessories that come with being royal, that come with being the kings and the priests of the earth, they'll be treated as such, just accessories. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying with that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and the sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.